So, did anybody, you guys seen Jim Carrey tonight? Seen Jim Carrey? Anybody seen Jim Carrey here tonight? No. I didn't think so. I have never seen Jim Carrey at one of my performances ever. Now there's a reason for that probably. Back in the 90s, oh by the way, I'll get to that in a minute. How you guys doing tonight? Yeah. You guys keeping it Jesus? Yeah. Anybody else in here? You guys know what this means, don't you? Yeah. That I'm the world's most positive performer. You know why that is? Because it's easier to do this than this. Just try it. Let's see it, everybody. Everybody, there you go. It's easier to do this than this, right? Keeping it Jesus. Just like Obama. So, back in the 90s, speaking of Jim Carrey, now back in the 90s, Jim Carrey stole my act. Yeah, I had to come up with all new material. And all through the 90s, I was broke. Yeah, and I'm still broke. So, if anybody sees Jim Carrey, tell him I got a message for him. Hey, Jim Carrey. Yeah, tell him I got a message for Jim Carrey. Why don't you pay your bills? Yeah. I got bills to pay, Jim Carrey, and I'm broke. So, yeah. So if you see Jim Carrey, here's my card. Hey, if you need anything, call me. Let me know if you need anything. That way I can be more of a Christian if you need any help. I'm always trying to help people. It makes me more Christian. In case I can't find a Chick-fil-A to eat at or Papa John's, I can just give you a hand and that makes me a Christian. Anybody else here like me, you're a Christian and you have trouble eating if you can't find a Chick-fil-A or a Papa John's? Right? Because you're trying to stay saved, but you just can't find a Chick-fil-A, and so you're looking for a Walmart. Anything inside of a Walmart keep you safe. Even in McDonald's. Right? Oh, bless. I mean, you ever notice that Walmart has the exact same coloring scheme in their marketing scheme as America? You ever notice that? You've got a giant star. Isn't that cool? So you know you're in America when you go to Walmart. Oh, speaking of people that don't pay their bills, is anybody else in here like me? You're a Democrat? Yeah, that's great, huh? Don't you love being a Democrat? Don't you just love following Jesus? I just love being a Democrat, and I'm not afraid or ashamed to say it. I just love following Jesus.
Okay, here's a great idea I had. This is a great idea. Listen to this. First of all, if you need a good church, you need to call Centerpoint Church. That's first of all.
I'll tell you why I'm a Democrat. I'm a Democrat because I'm a Christian.
If you need a good church, then you need to call Centerpoint Church.
Because I'm a liberal.
And the telephone number for Centerpoint Church is area code 909-825-3670. So yeah, you need to call Centerpoint Church if you need a good church, if you're looking for a good church. If you're not looking for a church or anything like that, don't even bother calling them. But if you need a good church, call Centerpoint Church.
But I'm not one of these guys who just tells you what I am.
So I had this idea. Here's a great idea. And that's how to get people to call Centerpoint Church. I'm always trying to get people to call Centerpoint Church. I'm trying to figure out ways to get people to call Centerpoint Church.
How we doing on time? 20 minutes left.
So, you know, if you need a good church, for instance, for one thing, call Centerpoint Church. Area code 909-825-3670. Centerpoint Church in Colton. Right. And I need to get a hold of the pastor out there because I have a great idea. Yeah, I had a great idea. This is the idea I had. To get people to call Centerpoint Church. Right? So here it is. Picture this. To call Centerpoint Church, you need to know the number, right? So this is what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to get people to call Centerpoint Church. So I had this great idea. I had a great idea, but I need to talk to the pastor because I have a great idea. And it's a great idea I have for how to get people To call Centerpoint Church. Well, first you need to know the number, right? Well, the number to Centerpoint Church, this is the number. Area code 909 825-3670. And that is... Friends, you got to get a hold of Centerpoint Church. You need the number. That's the number. Area code 909-825-3670, friends. And that is the number for Centerpoint Church. But I had this great idea. Here it is. But I need to talk to the pastor first of Centerpoint Church, or one of them. Listen, here's the great idea. This is an idea I have. It's like a commercial. But picture this. There's a pastor, and then there's, let's say, me, or another guy, or somebody else, or it could be a lady. And they're having a discussion on how to get people to call the church, how to get people to call Centerpoint Church. And so then they got to try to figure out how to get people to call the church. And so somebody says, well, we need to do a commercial. Let's make a commercial, right? Do a commercial. Well, first they need to know the number, right? Yeah. And how's the number? Well, what's the number? Well, how do you want to get a hold of Centerpoint Church? Here's the number. Area code 909 825-3670, and that's the number to Centerpoint Church. And then people, they want to know, well, how do you get a hold of Centerpoint Church? How do I call the number? Well, how do we get people to call the number? Well, they need to know the number. So you're sitting in an office, right? You're in an office with the pastor of Centerpoint Church, or one of the pastors, right? And somebody give me the pastor of Centerpoint Church on the line. I said Centerpoint. Right, there's one. Somebody give me Centerpoint on the line. And then somebody says, what? And then the other guy says, I said Centerpoint. And then he slams his fist down on the table next to a Centerpoint card or something that says Centerpoint on it. And he says, what? What did you say? And he says, I said Centerpoint. And he slams or he says, or you might say, somebody give me Centerpoint on the phone. And then he said, and somebody might say, what? I said Centerpoint. Right? That's the idea. Is you want to get people to think about calling Centerpoint, but why? Well, first they need the number, right? Well, why should they call Centerpoint? Somebody give me Centerpoint on the line. Centerpoint. Somebody give me Centerpoint on the line. Yeah, the number. 825. Area code. What's the area code? Somebody get me Centerpoint on the line. Right? This guy could be going on and on about it. Somebody get me Centerpoint on the line. Somebody get me Centerpoint on the line. And then somebody pulls out a Bible and they say, hey man, did you watch the tapes? The tapes, man, you need to watch the tapes. The tapes. You need to watch the tapes. And then somebody comes in the room and says, what tapes? And somebody says, this tape, man, right here. Centerpoint Church. You need to call the number on your screen right now. Centerpoint. What? I said Centerpoint. Right? That's the commercial. I said Centerpoint. So what do you think of that? What do you think of that joke? That's a good one, right? And it gets people to, might get them to want to call Centerpoint, and also they'll know the number to Centerpoint, right? Right? I know, that's weird. Right? Friends, look at the number on your screen. Now, what do you think about that commercial idea? Right? Centerpoint, right? Someone needs to give me Centerpoint, right? No, that's not a good one. It's better to do this one. Somebody give me Centerpoint on the line. What? I said Centerpoint. Or I said Centerpoint. Right? That's the better one right there. If you need a number for a good church, friends, call the number on your screen. Call now while supplies last, friends. Call now while supplies last. Somebody get me Centerpoint on the line. What? Right? Somebody off screen says, what? And then he goes, I said Centerpoint. Or I said Centerpoint. Right? Or I said Centerpoint.
Oh, boy.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm just trying to figure out a way to get somebody to call Centerpoint. What's the number for Centerpoint? What's the number for Centerpoint? 909-825-3670. Somebody get me Centerpoint on the line. What? I said Centerpoint.